They say money and muscles are the ultimate ticket to being attractive, but the truth is far more fascinating and empowering. You don't need a big bank account, a luxury car, or a chiseled jawline to turn heads or capture hearts. What truly draws people to you, holds their attention, and makes them crave your presence is something deeper, something almost invisible, yet undeniable. It's the way you carry yourself, how you look into someone's eyes, the power in your silence, and the subtle signals your mind gives off long before you ever say a word. Attraction, real attraction, is psychological. It's magnetic. And if you understand the right psychological triggers, you can become 10x more attractive without ever lifting a weight or flashing your wallet. Let's start with the most underestimated weapon in human interaction, presence. When you're truly present, when you're not lost in your thoughts or checking your phone, you radiate a rare kind of intensity. People around you feel seen, heard, and understood. And that emotional connection triggers a psychological response called the halo effect, where one positive trait, like attentiveness, makes people assume you have many other attractive qualities. You become more trustworthy, interesting, and charismatic, all by mastering presence. Imagine locking eyes with someone and making them feel like they're the only person in the room. That's magnetic, and it doesn't cost a dime. Then comes confidence, but not arrogance. Real confidence isn't loud or boastful. It's silent. It's in the way you walk into a room without seeking validation, in how you hold eye contact without being aggressive, and in the calm way you carry your energy. Psychology reveals that people are wired to follow and admire those who seem sure of themselves. Why? Because confidence signals competence. It says you can handle pressure, lead others, and make decisions under fire. But here's the catch: confidence isn't something you're born with. It's built. Every time you honor your word to yourself, whether it's waking up on time or speaking your truth, you build self-trust. And self-trust radiates as real, grounded confidence that others can feel instantly. Another powerful psychological hack to elevate your attractiveness is mystery. Most people overshare, trying too hard to impress. But those who hold something back, those who speak less and listen more, generate curiosity. The human brain is naturally drawn to what it doesn't fully understand. This is known as the Zeigarnik effect, where people remember and obsess over incomplete information. So when you become the kind of person who doesn't reveal everything at once, who leaves room for questions, you become a puzzle others are desperate to solve. You're not being distant, you're being intriguing. And intrigue is seductive. Let's talk about emotional control. One of the sexiest things you can ever do is stay calm when others lose it. Imagine two people arguing, tempers rising, voices raised. But you're calm, grounded, and in control. That makes people feel safe around you, and safety is deeply attractive. In psychology, this ties to emotional stability, a core trait linked to long-term relationship satisfaction. People want to be around someone who doesn't crumble under stress, who doesn't react impulsively, and who provides a sense of emotional shelter. It makes them trust you, respect you, and desire your energy. Now combine that calmness with humor, and you've unlocked a secret weapon. You don't need to be a comedian. You just need to be able to make people feel good around you. When you can laugh at life, tease playfully, or make someone smile on a bad day, you become unforgettable. Why? Because laughter releases dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, and people unconsciously associate that good feeling with you. It's called classical conditioning, the same psychological principle that makes you crave a food you once enjoyed during a happy memory. Make people laugh and feel good, and they'll chase your presence like a drug. Let's dive into a more subtle, but devastatingly effective trick: mirroring. Studies in psychology show that people like those who are like them. When you subtly mimic someone's body language, speech patterns, or energy level, they feel a subconscious sense of connection with you. It's not manipulation, it's empathy in motion. If someone leans in, you lean in slightly. If they speak softly, you drop your tone. This builds rapport faster than words ever could. It sends a silent message: I get you, I'm on your wavelength. And few things are more attractive than feeling deeply understood. Now here's a shocker: vulnerability can make you more attractive than pretending to be perfect. When you admit mistakes, express your struggles, or share personal truths, you reveal your humanity, and that rawness builds emotional intimacy. People crave realness in a world of filters and facades. When you can look someone in the eye and say, "Yeah, I've been through that too," you create a bridge that no amount of money or muscles can build. This ties into the pratfall effect, a psychological principle, showing that people who display small flaws become more likable, especially if they're generally competent. Because perfection is intimidating, flawed confidence is relatable. And don't underestimate the power of purpose. When you're passionate about something, whether it's a career, a cause, or a personal mission, it adds fire to your aura. Purpose creates drive, and drive is deeply magnetic. People are drawn to those who move with intention, who chase something bigger than themselves. It gives your life direction, and direction is a form of dominance. It shows you're not drifting, you're leading. That psychological posture of leadership taps into ancient attraction cues. In evolutionary psychology, individuals who signal direction and competence were seen as valuable mates, providers, protectors, visionaries. Find your mission and let it fuel your vibe. Let's talk eye contact. Simple but transformative. Holding eye contact without blinking or looking away too soon shows power and confidence. It says, I see you, and I'm not afraid of being seen. But more importantly, prolonged eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It literally creates intimacy at a chemical level. When you lock eyes during a conversation, you're not just communicating, you're connecting. Just be careful not to stare. It's about balance, holding your gaze just long enough to make it felt, then softening to create safety. When done right, it creates a gravitational pull people can't resist. Another unexpected trick: pausing before you speak. Most people rush their words, afraid of silence. But those who pause before responding create anticipation. They project authority, thoughtfulness, and presence. It shows you're not reacting, you're responding. You're in control of the moment, and control is attractive. This also gives your words more weight. Think about it: when someone who rarely speaks finally does, everyone listens. Become that person, the one who doesn't need to fill every silence, because your silence is loud. That kind of control draws people in and keeps them captivated. Now here's a deeply psychological one: scarcity. People value what's rare. If you're always available, always saying yes, always showing up, you become background noise. But when your time, energy, and attention are scarce, when you choose your interactions carefully, you become valuable. This is tied to reactance theory, which says people desire what they can't easily have. So when you make others work a little for your attention, it activates desire, not manipulation, just boundaries. Learn to say no. Be selective. When your presence is earned, it becomes craved. Another overlooked trait that skyrockets attractiveness is emotional intelligence. This isn't just about being nice or understanding. It's about reading the room, sensing tension, knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, adjusting your tone based on the vibe, recognizing when someone's hurting even if they smile. That level of social awareness makes people feel safe, seen, and respected. And in a world where everyone's screaming for attention, being the one who listens, really listens, is revolutionary. It makes people open up, drop their walls, and lean in closer. Emotional intelligence is seduction through empathy. Lastly, let's talk about self-respect. The most attractive people are the ones who know what they deserve and won't settle for less. They don't chase, they attract. They don't beg for attention, they command it through their energy. When you walk like someone who has nothing to prove, you trigger deep curiosity. People want to know your story. They wonder what makes you so self-assured. And that's where true magnetism lives, not in appearance, but in identity, in owning who you are without apology. So forget the six-pack. Forget the fancy watch. Attraction isn't built in a gym or bought in a store. It's built in the mind, in the way you carry yourself, connect with others, and move through life. Use these psychological tricks wisely, not to manipulate, but to elevate. Because when you show up as your most grounded, confident, emotionally intelligent self, you don't chase attraction, you become it.